Colossal Megalodon. Between 20 million and 3 million years ago, this apex predator reigned supreme in warm waters across the globe. But even this ancient giant, often portrayed as invincible, may have encountered rivals that gave it pause. The story of the Megalodon is not just one of dominance, but also one of mystery, misunderstood identity, and a final extinction that changed marine life forever. A legend born from teeth and bones. Although the Megalodon has been extinct for millennia, it continues to live on in the public imagination. From blockbuster movies to wild conspiracy theories, it captures the curiosity of scientists and enthusiasts alike. Yet for all the attention it gets, very little of its physical form has actually been discovered. No complete skeleton has ever been unearthed. What we do have are isolated fossil remains, mostly vertebrae, a few scales, and its iconic teeth, each the size of a human hand and serrated like a steak knife. The most complete fossil we've ever found is a 36-foot section of a megalodon's spinal column. It once formed a significant part of the shark's trunk, giving scientists crucial data for estimating the creature's full size. Just how big was Megalodon? To understand the size of Megalodon, paleontologists have compared its fossil remains with over 150 species of both extinct and modern sharks. Early estimates suggested the shark could grow up to 54 feet long, but this was based on the assumption that Megalodon had similar proportions to a modern great white. However, when researchers analyzed a 9-inch diameter vertebra, the largest ever discovered, they realized the previous numbers were conservative. By extrapolating from this vertebra and comparing it to other shark species, some scientists now believe Megalodon may have reached lengths of up to 80 feet. That's the length of 2 school buses end to end. Imagine a predator that size gliding silently through the ocean depths, misidentifying a monster. For a long time, it was widely believed that Megalodon was simply a gigantic version of the great white shark. This made sense given the similar tooth structure and predatory lifestyle. But as research progressed, this theory was debunked. Megalodon was not a beefed-up great white, it was something entirely unique. Surprisingly, the ancient predator shares more anatomical similarities with the modern lemon shark, a species known for its robust build, twin dorsal fins, and blunt snout. The body of a Megalodon was more streamlined than the stocky great white, making it a faster and more efficient swimmer. It was built not just for raw power but for long-distance cruising and agile hunting. The mystery of the missing skeleton. Why haven't we found a complete Megalodon skeleton? The answer lies in its biology. Like all sharks, Megalodon had a skeleton made primarily of cartilage, a flexible, lightweight material that decomposes much more easily than bone. Cartilage doesn't fossilize well, which means that only parts like teeth and occasionally vertebrae are preserved. In rare cases, a shark's entire skeleton might fossilize, but only under perfect conditions. It would have to be rapidly buried under sediment, shielded from scavengers and ocean currents. Without these ideal circumstances, the skeleton would disintegrate long before fossilization could occur. Land fossils from ocean giants. Interestingly, many shark fossils have been found on dry land. Millions of years ago, large parts of today's continents were submerged under shallow seas. Over time, these marine environments were uplifted, becoming deserts or mountainous regions. The perfect conditions in ancient seabeds preserved countless marine fossils, including those of prehistoric sharks. Today, researchers scour these ancient seabeds turned deserts, searching for fossilized shark teeth and bones. While finding a tooth is common, discovering an entire skeleton is like winning the paleontological lottery. Born to be giant, Megalodon didn't start life as a small fry. Newborns were already 13 feet long, bigger than most adult sharks today. At birth, they were larger than many small boats. This immense size at such a young age gave them a significant survival advantage, helping them avoid predation and establish dominance early in life. The Meg in popular culture. Thanks to books, films, and viral videos, Megalodon has become one of the most famous prehistoric creatures in the world. Some conspiracy theories even suggest that this behemoth still lurks in the deep ocean trenches, particularly the mysterious Mariana Trench. However, there's zero scientific evidence to support this. If Megalodon were still alive, we would certainly know. A predator of its size would need an enormous amount of food and territory. It would frequently interact with large marine animals and would likely be spotted by fishing boats, satellites, submarines, or deep-sea exploration drones. The ecological footprint of a megalodon. As an apex predator, Megalodon played a pivotal role in maintaining the balance of its marine ecosystem. It hunted large prey such as whales, dolphins, and sizable fish, helping to regulate their populations and prevent overgrazing of lower trophic species. The extinction of Megalodon, estimated to have occurred around 3.6 million years ago, had cascading effects on marine life. One of the most fascinating outcomes was the evolutionary shift in whales. Without the constant threat of being hunted by a giant shark, whale species began to grow larger over time. Modern giants like the blue whale likely owe some of their massive size to this absence of predation. In this way, Megalodon's disappearance reshaped the food web and opened ecological niches that allowed other species to thrive in new ways. If Megalodons still existed. Speculating about a modern-day Megalodon is a thrilling thought experiment. If this ancient predator still roamed our oceans, the consequences for human activity would be profound. Commercial fishing routes might need to be rerouted to avoid its territory. Cargo and passenger ships could be at risk if they crossed paths with such a powerful predator. Marine ecotourism such as shark diving or whale watching would become significantly more dangerous. Even satellite tracking and naval operations would need to account for its presence. Imagine the implications of diving off a coral reef and coming face to face with a 65-foot-long predator, its mouth lined with serrated teeth and capable of exerting a bite force stronger than any known animal. The oceans would no longer be a place of leisure and exploration but one of awe and caution. The cold-blooded myth. Most modern sharks are ectothermic, or cold-blooded, meaning their body temperature is largely dictated by their environment. This trait limits their ability to function efficiently in colder waters, making them less agile and slower in such climates. Megalodon, however, appears to have been regionally endothermic. This means it could regulate the temperature of specific body parts like muscles and the brain, allowing it to stay warmer than the surrounding water. This adaptation likely gave it a significant edge, enabling it to hunt in a broader range of environments and seasons. With better muscle performance and sustained energy in colder zones, Megalodon could access prey and habitats that were off-limits to other sharks. This thermoregulatory ability was yet another trait that made it a dominant. The Mariana Trench myth. One of the most persistent myths is the idea that Megalodon could still be alive, hiding in the inky depths of the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the world's oceans. While the trench is indeed mysterious and largely unexplored, the theory doesn't hold up under scrutiny. The trench is extremely cold, dark, and low in oxygen. More importantly, it lacks the large marine animals that Megalodon would require for sustenance. A creature of such massive size would need a vast range, abundant food, and favorable environmental conditions. In contrast, the trench supports only small organisms adapted to high pressure and low light, such as bioluminescent fish and tube worms. Additionally, modern technology including submarines, remote-operated vehicles, and sonar mapping has thoroughly scanned these depths. No trace of Megalodon has ever been found, making its continued existence not just improbable but scientifically implausible. The Megalodon is most certainly extinct, but its legend continues to inspire fascination, debate, and awe. From the vast collection of fossilized teeth to the ever-evolving understanding of its anatomy and behavior, every discovery brings us closer to uncovering the life story of one of Earth's greatest predators. Even if it no longer prowls the seas, the Megalodon's presence is felt in museums, documentaries, and imaginations across the globe. Its reign may have ended millions of years ago, but its story is far from over. Thanks for diving deep with us into the legend of the Megalodon. If you enjoyed this Vito Prehistoric plunge, smash that like button, subscribe for more jaw-dropping science stories, and ring the bell so you never miss a splash of ancient ocean madness.